Okay, Tim, we're ready to go.
You guys know this as the collapse of.
Okay, thank you, Joey. I will share my screen so we can get to have the agenda. Can everyone see the agenda or the screen?
You can see the
I
screen.
don't.
Yes.
Yes. We'll start with roll call. I guess, Max, will you be able to do the roll call or should I do the roll call?
Yeah, I don't have the list of members or alternates in front of me here.
Dr. Gillum, do we have a third member for the Green Committee identified?
I don't think we do right now.
Okay. Okay, so right now we have two standing members, Dr. Gilliam
Present.
and Representative Kincaid.
She's on the floor of the house.
Okay, that was roll call. As you can see from the agenda, we have 4 informational items. There are no action items. So let's just get right to the status of cycle 7 applications. We had received 17 applications in September. We sent offers to 17 grow projects, as you can see on here. The current status of the agreements, we have received 8 of the agreements, and 3 agreements we have not yet received, and 2 are in the process of review and most likely will be executed soon. And this is as of today. Dr. Gilliam, any questions here?
No, you said everything. We're expecting everything. We don't see any reason why there will be any delays or changes. We're just waiting for things to come in or being executed. So
Right.
that sounds fine to me.
And these 3 from Bridgeville, Crafton, and PWSA, they do have until the beginning of December to get them to us. So they're not late or anything.
Right.
They're just not immediately in our hands.
And I presume that they've been in contact and everything still is moving forward.
Yeah, I've had conversations with both Bridgeville and Crafton after we sent the agreements to them, and they had questions about the award and the award amount. And we sat down, we had a meeting, we explained to them the changes that grow, changes in how we're evaluating projects, and they came to understand. And
Okay.
there should be no reason for them not to accept these awards. I think that they're probably just, taking their time to sign off and get them to us. And PWSA, that's typical that they, have as much time as they're allowed to get those into us. So this is kind of typical.
Sounds good.
Okay, next I wanted to talk a little bit about the Grow Cycle 8 municipal workshops. This year we tried something a little different. We worked with our municipal relations and outreach department to set up a scheduling system so that we did not prescribe to the municipalities anymore. You will show up at, we set up this time for you. We expect you to come on in. We set the scheduling application up so that they could have control over when they have time to come meet with us. And this was done so that we could fit with their schedules. These municipal workshops are in coordination with the regionalization program. And so the workshops that are going to talk about regionalization issues and or grow. And we've set aside blocks of time for these. So if somebody wants to set up a meeting, we're available. And that's the key. So we will always be available for the municipality. For the grow related section of the workshops, what we would talk about are any potential source control projects that they may have for cycles 8 or potentially cycle 9. What we do is we'll provide feedback, and this year, like we did last year, we try to provide the feedback as it relates to the IWWP, and we have better information now than we did 12 months ago. So, if a project comes in, and we can then take a look at, well, how is the interim wet weather plan impacting this particular area? Is this going to be a strong project with what I would believe would be a pretty good match? Or is this a location where the IWWP is so effective, planned expansion in the tunnels, that a source control project may not even have a chance at a match.
Yeah.
And so, being able to provide that level of feedback to the municipalities, and then also see where they are in regards to the municipal progress for their COAs. And then from ALCOSAN's side, if we have any opportunities, when we did the controlling the source report several years ago, we identified a lot of projects. And we've also since then done a lot of flow monitoring. So we believe that we may have some ideas as to where, pretty good projects are going to be, and also taking into account the interim wet weather plan. We're now starting to see that there are going to be key areas of our service area where that may not be addressed as effectively in the IWWP. And typically these are the outskirts of our interceptor system. Chartiers Creek, maybe a little bit of Sawmill, Thompson Turtle, the Mon Valley. So try to identify the locations where we believe that, source control projects would have a pretty good chance at getting a GROW grant.
Mhm.
And then we ask them the questions, how can we help you? Is there grants that might be out there? I know, again, municipal relations and outreach, they look for these opportunities for the municipalities to be able to get third-party funding. We have technical resources that we can offer to the municipality if they have a project, or if we have a project, we can take the basic information, run them as if it were a project going for GROW, and then provide them feedback. Hey, we ran this based on our evaluation criteria. This is where you're at. And if there's an opportunity for a little tweak in the project, maybe expanding the drainage area a little bit, or something that could get more source control effectiveness, we would like to have that opportunity to talk with them and and provide those resources to the municipality. And then finally, we have monitoring resources. They're not infinite. We do have a finite amount of monitoring that we can provide, and we definitely are willing to help our municipalities with one of my takes is I want to give preferential treatment to the municipalities that are kind of have low resources. Maybe they can't afford to do a big flow monitoring program. I can go in, I can offer them, maybe not the full program they're looking for, but maybe, some monitoring with professionals. And then, that's something that I've been able to, seek budget for, and so far has been approved. So keep going with that monitoring effort.
Mhm.
Any questions on the workshops?
No, I think this is important. I think I've probably mentioned over the past few years that, this is definitely the kind of information that municipalities need in order to be able to be a part of this process, since it's so technically specific. So I think it's really good. have we had many people take us up on it yet, or what's the anticipated response?
We have a meeting later this week. The change in the scheduling took a little bit of getting used to. We had wanted to start this in October. We got like 2 meetings set up in October. November was tough with all the holidays, conferences, but now in December we're starting to get this picked up. Then Julia and I, we just expanded it to January. It's starting to pick up. The Three Rivers Conference 2 weeks ago was a good thing to, get the ear of a lot of the engineers, just, to reinforce, try to talk to your manager or get with your manager and see whether or not, if they can't make it, that's fine, but try to get their approval so you can show up and we can have this discussion.
Yeah.
And that part has been working out. We have had more scheduled meetings for December than in November, even though I do have one on Friday.
Okay.
So it's working out, and it's a back and forth. If we find that we have a lot of openings, start pushing, some of the key engineering firms that have a lot of clients, like if you don't have anything, that's fine, let me know. But if you're thinking about participating in this cycle, it would be a good idea for you to take a little bit of time and we can talk. And if there's a project that, that you've been thinking about is really good, that is the criteria we use for those bypasses, where it can save the municipality a little bit of money, so they don't have to put together a letter of interest. But it's on the municipalities right now, and still trying to reach out.
Have you found that, because we've been doing this for
A long time.
Yeah, for a while now. And all of those projects, I don't even know the total number of projects that we have to date through the green initiative. I'm just wondering, have you found that it's been slowing down, like the number of applicants we're getting?
Yeah.
Are we still getting?
It's definitely been slowing down. Everybody's got their consent order agreements, and the consent order agreements, they're still working their way through, like, this first step of, making sure that all the information that was in their agreement is correct. Then they have a monitoring effort, a modeling effort prior to any kind of design. So, unless this is a project that they've been planning on for a while, they're not going to take that jump ahead. Especially if it's something that they're trying to get approval from the regulatory agency, that, hey, will we or will we not get credit for this project, or will we or will we not get credit for projects we've done in the past? They're trying to me, it seems like they're trying to understand where they're fitting with the regulatory agencies. And it takes a little bit of time. And it's something that I've seen this before. This happened in 2017, with cycle 3. And there was just a lot of questions about what is the regulatory agencies going to require of us. And with that, without having that understanding, they're reluctant to put forward projects. And so on our end, we just encourage them. And if they have ideas, that's what I'm looking for. It's just, what are your ideas out there? Because I can work with you, and I could try to, if you have an idea, at least I could tell you how this might fit in this grant program. And I can also give you feedback like, hey, this seems like a really good project. You should move forward on this. And I think that the regulatory agencies would see this positively. Or, I have no idea why you're doing this project. And if that was ever the feedback I gave them, I would absolutely tell them why I would, why that project may not be the best option for them.
So I
I'm
guess
very honest with them.
the reason why I'm also just continuing to think down that line is, you know, I know early on, I mean, they were, you know, kind of coming faster and more furious, you know, just a lot of projects and a lot of, you know, projects to weed out, to, you know, to continue to suggest that they move forward. And I guess I'm thinking now, you know, if it is sort of the lower hanging, more obvious projects, or even the municipalities that had, you know, kind of greater access to resources that they could actually kind of self-propel through this process. If we're kind of getting further down the list with those projects, you know, maybe something we could think about is some of those areas that are under, like, little under-resourced. There might be some projects that they would not have thought of because they're just frankly maybe don't have the bandwidth to be able to think about that. And maybe we can help them, you know, by putting forward some ideas, because ultimately, when they win, we win.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's one engineering firm. I had a discussion with this engineer at the Three Rivers Conference. He and the firm represents a lot of the communities in the Mon Valley, Turtle Creek Valley. And they've been absent for the past few cycles. And I told the engineer, I really would like to see if there's anything that we could do to get you back, because you're also representing the municipalities that are not, that still have opportunities for some decent grow match, even with IWWP, because the tunnels may not extend out all the way to that system, and the plant, you know, expansion, though extremely effective, you know, there's still opportunities in these municipalities. And so this one engineer, he was going to get this set up, and what he'll probably end up doing is just try to block off the entire, you know, 3 hours to just talk about all of his municipalities at once. And we've done that in the past. That's how it's worked out with
All right, good.
past.
Well, it sounds like you're, you know, definitely on top of it. I'm glad that, you know, even in the suggestion that I just made, it sounds like you're already working down that path.
I've been trying to figure what I've been wanting to look into, and I got the ball rolling, is taking a look at all of the awards that we've had so far, taking a look at different metrics, and start to identify where are the areas that are under, that are not utilizing grow as much as I would hope. And then see how, you know, what are those reasons for them not utilizing it. And more likely than not, the reason that they're not able to use it is they may not have those resources to just, you know, put together a lot of various projects. Like, every dollar is precious, and they may not want to take that risk of putting something together that may not get funded. That's why I want to see these projects before.
Yeah, they don't have the resources to expend wastefully.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I'm looking forward. I'm anticipating that your efforts will be fruitful, and that, you know, even if not in the next cycle, perhaps the one after, you know, they'll be able to, you know, kind of fill in some of those spaces for regions and areas, municipalities that are under-resourced, but yet would have a really good chance of getting a pretty decent match. So, sounds good.
All right. Okay. Oh, I already talked about this. By the way, just wanted to say thank you to the procurement department for helping me keep track of all of this. Been very, very much appreciated.
Just doing our jobs.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Beth. Okay, end date modifications. Now, I mentioned that we do not have any action items. these end date modifications all end in the end of December. So I'm pushing the municipalities to respond to me prior to the December board meeting. So I'm working on that right now with these folks. Where we're at, all the PWSA submitted requests for extensions. So those will be on the December board meeting agenda. The one in green for Bellevue, they're done pretty much. So I'm expecting that this will be off of the list, and then the rest that are in yellow, those 6, I'm waiting to hear back from them. I know Stowe Township is definitely going to be requesting an extension. When I spoke with Carnegie's engineer, they had indicated that they're not going to be done with their final report, and they will be looking for an extension. The rest of them still waiting for some feedback from them and their engineers. The only other one that possibly might be done, I think, would be Bethel Park, but we'll see. I know that the project itself is done and all the monitoring and everything's been, I think, completed. So that's the only one I think that might be taken off the list, but without that assurance, I'm not going to say anything, but I know Bellevue will be done. And any questions on that?
None.
Okay. 2023 Green Committee meeting schedule. This is not an action item, just informational. Sorry. I did something wrong here. All right. Can you see this screen?
No.
Oh, no. Can you see this screen?
Yes.
Okay. Something happened with my slide and messed up. Okay, so we have these assumed board dates. I say that they're assumed because they have not been finalized and approved at the board meeting. So every Thursday, 4th Thursday of the month, except for May, that's the 3rd Thursday, and November, 3rd Thursday, and December, 2nd Thursday. And these would be the recommended Green Committee dates. Right now, these are just based off of what we did in 2022. So I just use the same methods. Most of them will be the 9 days before on a Tuesday, except in November, which will be 8 days before on a Wednesday, or the day before the board meeting. But they haven't been finalized, and we take them, at the discretion of the chair of the committee.
Got it.
If things need to be moved, they get moved. Okay, and if there's any questions on this. Okay. Other business. Okay, I don't have any other business.
This is the only business I have.
All right. And Max, correct me if I'm wrong, since there was not a quorum, there's no need to adjourn.
Correct.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. G. Always a
Great.
pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.